back to my channel, The Preppy Project. Today I want to talk to y'all about how to save money while you're in college and how to prevent yourself from going into debt while paying for school. So I have been in school for 6 years now. I'm in graduate school. I have 1 year left of graduate school. So by the time this is finished, I will have been in school for 7 years. So I feel like I have a lot of experience in saving money, and just how to kind of work around paying for school. So let's sit back, let's chat. I have my little cup of coffee here. I just made a video on how I make my coffee while doing intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day. So that's my little coffee that I'm drinking right now. I would be mindful of how much you are eating out, or if you are using like food delivery apps, I would be very mindful of that and just use it on special occasions. So my second tip is to buy secondhand or buy at thrift stores. So I am a girl who loves to go thrifting. I just think it's a lot of fun, and there will obviously be times where you go and you won't find anything. Everything either has stains or just looks old or it's totally not your style, and I have gone to many thrift stores and found that that was the case. But they change all the time. They're always getting new donations, so that's kind of what makes it fun, is because you don't know if you're gonna go in there and find like a new Lily Pulitzer dress for like $7, because I have found that before and it was like the best day ever. Just give yourself some time to go look. I also really love to buy things out of season. So a lot of times if you'll go in the summer, you can find sweaters and things like that for cheap, because most people are looking at the stuff that's in season. So I like to buy things out of season and then save it for the winter, or save it for summer, whatever. So it obviously saves a lot of money buying things at the thrift store, but you just have to keep in mind that you might go, you might not find anything, or you might go and you find your new favorite shirt. So I am kind of picky about what thrift stores I go to, because some thrift stores will mark everything as if it was like you're buying it new, and it's really stuff that is not good. So you just gotta have to find what thrift stores price their clothes reasonably and that get in some good clothes. So you might just have to shop around, figure out which are the best thrift stores. But also buying things secondhand. So that means not just clothes at thrift stores. So I have found like kitchen appliances. I have found like my favorite flat iron, things like that that you can clean, run like dishware, things like that through the dishwasher. And obviously like hair tools, you can always clean those. So things like that. And obviously furniture, if you're looking for furniture, looking at thrift stores, because obviously you can always refinish, clean the furniture. So things like that I would definitely look into. So that'll save you a lot of money. Now, I like to budget my money to where if there is something in like Target, or if there's something online, some kind of clothing or just something else that I'm wanting, I can buy it at full price. So I don't like to feel like I'm limited. I'm just aware of how much money I'm spending on things, so I have a little extra to spend on things that I want, and I can buy them new. Also, make sure that you're only buying things that you actually like. So I would really recommend trying clothes on, thinking about if this is something that will actually fit into your routine. So I had a habit of like buying these really cute dresses if I found them cheap at thrift stores, just like random like summery dresses during the summer. And I quickly found out that I was not a girl who was going to be going around wearing these like little fairy like cottagecore dresses, because that's just not me. So be aware of like, if you're just going to work and you're going to school, things like that, sure, have a few like special outfits, but if it's not practical, if you're not going to actually have occasions to wear these clothes to, just be mindful of that. And that's something I had to do. I had to go through my closet and clean it out, and I was like, why did I buy this? Because like, where am I gonna wear these dresses? But anyway, so just be mindful of that. Because if you're buying things just because they're super cheap and you feel like you're not going to find it again, that's not really saving money. If you're just doing it for the thrill of finding a super good deal, still think about if you're actually going to wear it, or if you actually need that thing, because then it's just taking out valuable space in your closet and you're never going to wear it. So my Third tip is to buy used textbooks. Now, I'm always like freaked out when people in my class are like, I bought this textbook full price, because I'm like, oh my gosh, why did you do that? Because textbooks, especially like graduate school textbooks, are hundreds of dollars. Not have to have a new textbook. Now, I know there are times, especially like when I was undergrad and I was doing like biology classes, I had a teacher who wrote her own textbook and we had to buy that textbook, and I was so sad because it was like $200. So there will be times where you are kind of forced to buy a new textbook, but that is kind of a one-off case. So I always I take whatever the name is of that textbook and I go ahead and just Google it. Be aware there are a lot of scammy sites for textbooks. So if you see like a website and it's looking kind of scammy and it is like, you know, $5 for the PDF, but usually they're not $5. Usually it's like $30 for the PDF. And it's looking kind of scammy, be aware because it might be a scam. So I do not do those kind of things because yeah. So I will type it into Google and I'll first see like how much it is on Amazon. This is really devastating, but Amazon took away their textbook rental service. I used to rent those textbooks all the time off of Amazon because they were much cheaper, and plus I didn't have to have it after the semester was over. I could just send it back to them. But what I mostly do is I probably 99% of the time buy the textbooks off of eBay. So if you go onto eBay, really the places where I always find the best prices on textbooks are like from Goodwills from all over the country. Goodwills will usually price their textbooks pretty reasonably. And then sellers like Second Sale, I have bought so many textbooks from them. So I'm talking textbooks that are like $6-7, okay? Now, here's another little tip that I've learned from my years of being in school. Very rarely do you need the latest edition of your textbook. Like, I'm just being totally honest here. I, in the beginning, was kind of nervous about this because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what if there is something in this textbook that's going to be on the test, and like, if I get the last edition or if I get like the earlier edition, it's not going to be in it. I will say that has happened to me, like, let me think, like 2 times in my whole, like, you know, 6 years of college did I buy a later edition and then something came up where it was only in the earlier edition. Take that as you will. I pretty much always buy the later edition because if you go on eBay and you want like the newest edition, it might be on there for like $30-40, but if you will buy one edition earlier, then you can get them for like $7. So that's what I usually do. Please, okay, like I'm telling you, like, please buy them used, whatever you can do. Do not buy a new textbook because you will use it for one semester and you are over it. And a lot of times you will only have to read like, I don't even know, like 20 pages in that textbook for certain assignments, and then you will never use it again. So that's one way to save a whole lot of money. My second thing that kind of goes off of that is resell your textbook. So I always do this. If I buy a textbook off of eBay or whatever, if I buy it used, I will remember how much I paid for it, and then I always list it on my eBay so I can resell it after the semester, because like I don't really even want that textbook in my possession anymore, taking up space. And if I can make back my money from buying that textbook, obviously I'm going to do that. So open yourself up an eBay account so you can resell those textbooks. Next tip that kind of goes off of what we just talked about is to start a side hustle. So by a side hustle, I mean like starting an eBay store, starting a Poshmark store, doing YouTube, making a blog, any of those things that you can do without putting a ton of work into it, and also not having to be somewhere. So even like doing DoorDash, I did that for a little bit and I realized I did not like that. But something you can do kind of when you want to do it. So by that I mean like having something on the side where if you have like an extra 2 hours at night, you can do it and make some money off of it. So I have been doing eBay and Poshmark for years now. I love eBay and Poshmark, and most of the things that I'm putting on eBay and Poshmark are just things that I had around the house that I didn't use anymore. So clothing, shoes, just random things, like I said, textbooks, just things that I had around the house that I didn't use anymore and I wanted to make some money off of. And also, if I find something really cute at the thrift store, or like super on sale at Walmart, Target, whatever, if I find something and I look it up on eBay or Poshmark and see that it's sold recently and it's a super good price, I will pick it up and list it on eBay. I found like some temporary hair dyes that were only like $1 at Walmart, and I sold those on eBay. Just, you know, be on the lookout for things like that, because a lot of times it's things that I wouldn't use, but I know other people are looking for it. Once you list it on eBay, you don't have to pay fees until it sells. And same thing for Poshmark, you don't have to pay the fees till it sells. Before I did eBay, I was a little nervous about how to figure out like the shipping aspects of it, but I will promise you, once you ship something a couple times, it'll be like second nature to you. And plus, there are so many tutorials on YouTube. So I would really encourage you, look into reselling, look into even just selling clothes that you don't wear anymore, because that is a perfect little side thing for you to do. Also, if you like doing DoorDash, if you like doing Uber Eats, if you like doing that, by all means, go ahead and do it. Also, YouTube, blogging. I have my own blog. If you want to go check it out, it's called thepreppyproject.com. It's the same name as my YouTube channel. So far, I have not made any money off of it, but I do like that I can kind of post on there and also bring more people over to my YouTube channel and vice versa. Doing things like that is kind of beneficial because you can grow your audience having two different modes of social media. Is blogging social media? I guess it is. I don't know. I never think of it that way. There are a lot of different side hustles out there. A lot of them are kind of scammy because you can never really make money off of it. There are so many people on YouTube who are like, make $1,000 a day on this little side hustle with like 1 minute of time put into it. And yeah, it's not actually reality. So do some research on that and find something that you enjoy doing. So my last tip would be scholarships. So a lot of people out there, I know before I started college, acted like there are so many scholarships out there. All you have to do is like write an essay and you can get all this money from scholarships. And I realized that is really not the case. But if you will put some time into it, you may be able to find some scholarships based off of like writing essays or your ACT scores, things like that. But my scholarship that I got was through Phi Theta Kappa. And I went to a community college or junior college my first 2 years of school. And I can say that saved so much money. Like, oh my gosh, those classes were so much cheaper. That was like the best thing I could have ever done. So I went to a community college first 2 years. And while I was in that community college, after the first semester, I got an invitation for Phi Theta Kappa, which is a honor society. You had to keep a 3.5 GPA throughout my time in community college, and then once I got to my 4-year college, that paid for half of my tuition. So I saved a lot of money by having that Phi Theta Kappa scholarship. I was so grateful for that. I had invitations to other honor societies. Like one of them that I'm a part of is NSLS, so it's National Society of Leadership and Success. So that one I did join, but it turned out that none of the scholarships actually applied to what I was doing. So just look into it. If you can, start looking at different honor societies and seeing if you qualify, and also look into if they have scholarships that actually apply to the area that you're studying. Definitely look into that. But that was something that I had to be in school, finish my first semester, and show that I had above a 3.5 GPA to get that invitation. So see if you could look into that, look into those scholarships. But if you see some scholarships that you can apply to before college, definitely look into that. So those are all my tips on how I save money while I am in college and how I prevented myself from going into debt while paying for school and graduate school. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any other tips or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I always love to hear from you. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Also, if you want to check out my blog, it is the same name as my YouTube channel, thepreppyproject.com. I share lots of tips on school. I share free printables over there. So go check that out. And thank you for watching, guys. I always appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I am praying for you. You are special and you are loved. So I will see you on my next video. Bye.